I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together.
Hello, Superwomen. I'm going to tell you something that deeply saddens me, and it is how badly we are craving connection, fulfillment, joy, and how much we are failing. Both men and women are failing, and we don't know how to relate to each other anymore. The divorce rates, sexless marriages being on the rise, antidepressant prescription rates, which to me is it's our underlying warning sign, our pink canary of anhedonia, our inability to feel pleasure and joy. The things that used to make us happy don't make us happy anymore. And that is why I wrote The Pink Canary 4 years ago now. And with the pandemic and everything, not much has changed on the pleasure and joy front. In fact, in some ways, I think it has gotten worse. The beliefs that we hold about life, love, sex, relationships are keeping us pleasure starved. They are keeping us anhedonic. The beliefs passed down to us as superwomen. We have to earn our love, earn our rest, earn our pleasure. We have to get the to-do list done, and then we can relax and enjoy. No wonder your pussies are dry, or you're so deeply craving more, wanting more that you do not have. And I hate to tell you, because this brings up frustration and resentment, but the work that you have been doing to fix this, it's not working. We're out here buying manifestation courses, telling ourselves lies like, oh, after this busy season, things will be better. Excuses that superwomen have told me in the past 24 hours. Well, after Amazon's done their vest, after I write this next exam, after my celebrity client is done their tour, we're making excuses, and we're constantly looking towards the light, the desires, the fun things. And I've been there too. This is easier. It's more fun. But that is a part of the equation. Looking at filling our tank is a part of it. But the other part, the hard part, that is the work that we have been missing, and that is what is keeping us anhedonic. And I'm calling myself out because I don't know how many $3,000, $5,000 courses on manifestation I've bought to collect dust in my inbox. So the work that we need to be doing is patching the holes in our tanks, preparing our nervous system, our adrenals, our hormones, our beliefs, our mindset to hold more sensation. Now hear this, because this is the piece that we miss, and it's a lot of why you're not getting traction. So this doesn't just mean to receive more love, more pleasure. It also means to feel more sensation in general. That means pain too. And you've heard me talk about the pleasure centers in our brains are turned off. It is why we are anhedonic. When our nervous systems are in fight or flight, we feel less pleasurable sensation, feminine burnout, doing all the things. And if we're going to start turning the pleasure centers in our brain back on, we're going to increase the feeling dial. Turn up pleasure, we turn up feeling in general. Something that we have worked somewhat successfully at to avoid feeling, to avoid sensation for years and years. In the last episode, we talked about how seeing big emotion in our partners, our men, our rocks, is so uncomfortable for us. Like it's so hard to hold that sensation in our systems that we shut it down and we try and fix. Same with our kids, right? Anyone we care about, it's so hard to see them hurt until we've done our own work that we jump to fixing. And we hate it when other people do it to us. It cuts off intimacy and connection. But that was last week. Take a listen if you haven't. We need to fill the holes in our tank. And these are hidden. You do not know they are there. Because let me tell you, you are action takers. I know you. If you knew you had an issue, you would fix it. So a part of the holes, a part of where we are not looking, and I'll be doing a series on it. It might not come out in order, but I want you to see these holes. I want you to know these holes. I'm working with my clients to find them and fix them so that if we plug the holes and then we're doing all the self-care things, we actually start to see benefit. We actually start to feel joy. And I know you've done the lighter side of things. You take the baths and you get the massages and the Botox and you buy the bags and you take the vacation and you have help, but you still don't feel good because there's holes in your tank. Things are leaking out. You're leaky. A part of it, a part of the hidden holes is taking a look at the dark parts of ourselves, our blocks, our beliefs. And this is our work to do. We are not blaming anyone. This is when we stand still and look deeper at ourselves than we ever have. And it is frustrating at first, because yes, you have more work to do. More work if you want what you say you desire. And if you're one of the people that just wants to manifest and do all of the light work and not actually move forward and continue to blame, go into victim, oh, well, my partner doesn't love me the way that I receive it. And why did this happen to me? Then please do not apply to work with me, because if you want to find the hidden holes that actually are going to get you traction and move you forward, let's do it. And yes, it is frustrating. It is actually crazy making that you have to do more work because you've already done so much and you still do so much, but it has been the wrong thing. You've been focused on filling your pleasure tank. But the good news about all of this is that it means you are in control. You have the power. You can take your power back. If you want pleasure, if you want ecstasy, you need to feel more. You need to receive more. You need to plug the hidden holes in your tank. If you want more health, more energy, to lose that weight that's been sticky, to get off, then it always is when we have feminine burnout. If you want more connection, more intimacy, to feel energized and joyful every day, to feel like yourself again, to let it all go, to be seen, to be ravished, to be cared for, to have multiple orgasms, the work starts with discovering the hidden holes in your pleasure tank. It's where you're out of alignment. It's where you're hiding parts of yourself. And we can't have the intimacy that we crave until we are sharing all of us. And most of us with our superwoman conditioning are too perfectionistic, to focus on being right, to focus on having one foot out because we've been taught not to get God, to be like on high alert. And then we're pointing the fingers at others. Well, he's not buying me flowers. I'm an acts of service person, but he's buying me gifts. Like I have anxious attachment and he's avoidant. Okay, that's all fucking fine and dandy, but let's shift our focus to actually heal so that all the work that you have been doing starts to pick up traction and get in momentum. Because if you're listening to this, your pleasure tanks are like a sieve and you're filling them and filling them and filling them, but it's just draining out. So you're not actually feeling that much better. You're probably feeling like 30% better. So when your focus is wrong, when we've been focused on filling the pleasure tank, not also focused on plugging the holes, we're sitting around crusty, wondering why we're not getting the results. We get resentful. And I am here to tell you that we've been given the wrong script. Filling the pleasure tank is half of the equation, the other is plugging the holes. We can do the Pilates, do the Botox, the new bags, the couples therapy, drinking the green juice, taking supplements, which I do and I highly recommend you do, having a pleasure practice. And if we're still unfulfilled, the focus needs to be on the holes. Resentment, massive hole. Feminine burnout, another massive hole. The way we go about living our lives, having to do it all. I can do it all myself. Hormone imbalances that we have because we are so stressed out. Unknown chronic infections is another hole that I see. So if you're doing the work and you're not seeing the results in your health and your relationship, you have holes in your tank that you don't know are there. And I know this is because you are a superwoman. If you knew the hole was there, you would take action to fix it. And if this is speaking to you and you've been putting in the effort and doing all the things, and you're also slightly resentful because you know I'm right, of like, uh-oh, there definitely is more work for me to do. And of course you're resentful. I would be resentful too, because you've been time, money, effort to not get the result. And if you are ready to get the result, head to the link in the show notes. I have 2 spots left for private coaching with me. My 3-month private coaching program is designed to help those of you that identify with everything that I just said, that the simple stuff is not going to work for you. You need more. If you want to know what that looks like, apply, fill out, like go to the link in the show notes, fill out the application. We are going to get on a call and chat and see if it is a fit for both of us to work together. And how much time, money, like how many years, how much money have you spent on trying to feel better? And you feel like you're putting in way more effort and not getting the results. If that is you, let's start figuring out what is actually going to get you the results that you desire. Hidden holes in our pleasure tanks, containment, or super women. Number 1, not knowing they want or need containment. And number 2, sucking at being contained. Containment, by definition, is the action of keeping something harmful under control or within limits. And so many women that I work with, and we actually start doing this work, they fear their big emotions that have been shoved down, put away for so many years. They're like, what is going to happen if I let myself feel anger? Anyways, that is why it is important to do this work with a trusted therapist, guide, coach. But we all know, we know it. We are powerful beings. When we have like such big feeling in our bodies, we don't know what to do with it. Well, containment. Containment in BDSM, and I'm talking more about the energetics, emotional containment, right? We're not talking about the stereotypical like women in leather torturing men. Okay. Talking about energetic principles. So containment energetically in the BDSM community refers to and this is my definition, the attentive attunement by a dominant partner who's providing stable, strong, courageous, intentional force that stabilizes and grounds a submissive partner. This dynamic involves the dominant maintaining a centered and secure presence, creating a safe and emotional, energetic space where the submissive can be vulnerable. So think of it like the dominant is this stable anchor, ensuring the submissive feels supported, protected, held, and it facilitates this deep sense of trust and connection. So when I bring this up to private clients, they're like, yes, that is what I want. And think of this. So I love hugs. When I am feeling a lot, and I do this for my daughter, you might notice it with your kids. So if I'm all over the place, I'm stressed, I'm putting out fires, I've let my tank get empty. I'm not doing what I need to be doing. My focus is on other people. I'm over giving. And in those moments, I'm feeling frazzled, out of control. I have stress hormones. I'm in fight or flight. When I get a hug, or if your partner were to say, "It's okay, babe, I've got you. We're going to figure this out," my thoughts settle. I can slow down. I can feel my nervous system relaxing. So, in that case, my partner is the dominant force grounding me. And also think about it. So when we are running around, feminine burnout state, tanks less than half full, a quarter full, some of us running on fumes, and we have been for years, we cannot receive in that state. The pleasure centers in our brain are turned off. We are in a fight or flight response. We have nervous system dysregulation. And most of us live here. We live here. We're burnt out, numb. But either way, we cannot receive the containment, even if our partner tries. And think of another example, like a toddler throwing a tantrum. They're having big, big feelings. And what works in those cases? Does trying to fix or telling them what to do, punishing them, like, is that working? Or if we can like contain them, be the anchoring, grounded force so they feel supported and protected, giving, a massive hug, holding a grounded presence while they are dysregulated, that is going to help fix the dynamic faster, help the emotions move through them faster so they can feel safe, supported, contained. Just like after a tantrum, after crying, if you hug a toddler, or even after a fight, right, with your partner, just that hug, that grounded, that safe feeling does wonders. So we know we want containment, or I would assume that you are like, if you're listening, you're like most of my private clients, that you're like, yes, that, I would like that. But we are either not in a state to be contained, or there's so much built up resentment and sludge that even if our partner tries, yeah, we're not in a state. So I have some questions for you to ask yourself. Can your partner contain you? Or are you normally the overfunctioner and doing the containing of them? Like, are you normally that dominant grounding force for them and their emotions? And can you trust your partner to contain you? So, for some of us, we have so much past resentment and anger that no, we can't. Or we have negative beliefs surrounding men. Like, these are all holes in your tank that you have to work on. Can you hold and contain your partner? And some of us can, some of us think we can, but they're dysregulated. We are dysregulated and we are just people pleasing, fixing, forcing, controlling, doing all the superwoman things. Like, we're not actually giving true containment. And the other thing is, can you receive it even if they do? Like, are you so turned off by your partner right now that even if they tried to contain you, you would just be like, ew, get away from me, don't touch me, don't look at me? So, superwomen, we've been taught to make men wrong. We've been taught to never surrender. I can do it myself. Of course, we suck at being contained. When I start talking about submission, surrender, superwomen shudder. They shut down. They want to run away. I get it. I was there too. We go to fear, danger. I need to protect myself. And yes, there is danger out there. Okay. And this is some of this generational stuff that's been passed down. Like, an unhealthy, unhealed man dominating without love, that's abuse. That's power and control. And we didn't have our own power and our own rights for a lot of years. So it makes sense that we are fearful of these things. But those fears are not serving us. They're a hole in our tanks. They're keeping us from feeling the way we want to feel and having what we say we want to have. So we need respect. We need mutual respect. We need the ability to be contained or offer containment. And for most of us, we are playing a win lose game, literally seeing examples of this everywhere. So, the Netflix show, am I allowed to say names? It's a selling show. And there is a single superwoman, love her, name rhymes with Schmalix. And she's like, I want a dominant man, a man that can take control. And then 3 minutes later, and this could all be editing, they cut to a scene where he's going to go have a conversation with somebody that's going to be heated. And she's like, don't go. You don't have to go. Don't take your drink. And it's like, okay, do you want a dominant man or do you want to be in control? Anyways, this episode and the previous episode specifically apply to her, but we all do this. We all do this. So, single superwomen, are we emasculating, critical, controlling? Is our pride getting in the way? The pride of finding men wrong, the payoff of being the victim and blaming everybody. There are no good men out there. I want an alpha, but yet our actions are the literal opposite. So I want to leave you with, can you receive containment from your partner? If not, this is a hole that you have to plug. If you want sexual mastery, if you want connection, are you somebody that can receive containment and give containment? Receive pleasurable touch and give pleasurable touch. Have you done the work to be somebody that is a joy to give pleasure to? So stay tuned. We are going to be continuing this series of hidden holes in your pleasure tank because I want you to have this information. It really, really makes me sad that we don't have the love, connection, energy, joy that we say we desire. So stay tuned. And if you're loving this and I am speaking to you, please send me a DM on Instagram because I would love to hear from you. Have a great week, everybody.
If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.